So, in regards to this cover-up, it was very obvious that Dick was a simp to begin with. I mean, if you've ever looked into Dick's background, he's been involved with a lot of court battles, mostly involving what happened with Dr. Phil. And if you look deeper into what happened with Dr. Phil, you'd see that all mention of Dick outside of the initial entry episode has been removed from the internet. If you go looking for it, it's very hard to find the videos of the later episodes. In fact, the only way I was able to find them was somebody that I know that lives in another country recorded it. And they have the full-length episodes of Dick in which you can see him being an absolute simp the entire time. I mean, you guys think this is the first time Dick simped, where he's talking about, I just want to make love to you. I can't wait to get to Austin. I don't even want to talk dirty. I just want to hear your mind. No, he's been like that for a long time. That whole persona that he puts up is nothing more than just a persona. He's always been a simp. I think you guys deserve to hear the truth. I think you deserve to see him being a simp. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
I talk to men like the idiots they are.
All new today.
Women should not be allowed to vote.
6 judgmental people.
If I see a black kid, I would not let my kids play with him.
You're a racist against your own race.
Are about to face off.
Women line up to date guys like me.
I would definitely be at the end of that line.
If you hit the treadmill, you'd be at the front.
Now, Dr. Phil
You got a huge chip on your shoulder.
is giving them a taste of their own medicine.
So you think if you have sex before marriage, you're going to hell?
Right.
You married?
No.
You had sex? You may be the most judgmental person I've ever met.
And the shocker they will never see coming.
You won't believe what I got in store for these people.
So, there's a bunch of boring people in the house. There's a woman hater. There's another thing. All you guys have ever seen is the first episode. So, Dick, this woman right here, Dick claims he had sex with. And he claimed that he fucked her quite often. And he claimed that he openly railed her and all this shit. And, you know, this is him on the show. I'm sure we've all seen this.
We'll talk to Dick. Take a look.
There's nothing more liberating and freeing to a woman than chauvinism. A woman has no responsibilities because I don't expect her to get anything right. All women are whores. They trade sex for money, they trade sex for cars. How is prostitution illegal, but alimony isn't? They're basically the same thing. You're paying for the whore to leave. A penny saved is a woman fired. Women make horrible employees. Women should not be allowed to vote. It's ridiculous. A woman president would be a disaster. Women know in their hearts that women cannot make decisions. A woman would never vote for Hillary Clinton. She embarrassed herself by not pleasing her man, essentially. And women know it. Well, women are only good for having kids. Unfortunately, they're not very good at raising them. Hitler was raised by a single mother. Men have created everything you see in the world. Men invented electricity. Men invented cures for diseases. Every brick you see is there because a man put it there. The only thing women really do with their time is spend men's money. Men, this is what you look like to a woman. This is all they're after. Women can't do math. They can't be organized. Can't lead a company. They can't take risks. They can't drive for crap. You can't...
So this is the person that Dick perceives himself to be, and it's who he presents himself as, this amazing poon hound. So eventually, Dr. Phil ends the episode by telling them that he has the idea that they should all live together as an experiment. And he pairs Dick as the chauvinist with a woman who hates men. So we can just go ahead
looking at, bitch?
Just sit there and shut up.
Let me just go ahead and I'll reopen VLC because it doesn't look.
What are you looking at, bitch?
Just sit there and shut up.
You first met them here on stage. To the dark.
I have plenty of opinions on women.
Let's take a look at what they are, and then we'll talk to Joe.
I despise consent.
My greatest...
I don't think so.
That's yourself as
I don't think wonderful men are this, men are that. Yeah, I'm sure there are, but you take the other 99% of them, and they care only for themselves. They think with what's below the waist, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, I have an ex-husband. Guess what? Booted his butt out.
So is there any chance these radical views could be influenced by your ex-husband?
That's what I agree with you. Yeah.
Just let me finish and don't interrupt me, okay? Just sit there and shut up. What I'm saying is, whenever there's a man that has children to raise, everybody rushes to that man's side because he can't do it by himself. Yeah.
So I raised kids too. I was single
By
for a
yourself?
long time. Yeah.
No woman ever helped you.
No. You said before you could back it all up with facts.
Okay, well,
I'm just waiting for a fact. Shirley is a man-hater with no anything to back it up.
I think the prisons are a lot fuller of men than they are
You're
women.
right, they are.
Duh.
That makes all men bad. Yeah.
Do you know who raised 80% of those rapists? Single mothers.
Oh, you. I don't think so.
That's what a fact looks like. It's usually got
really?
a number.
Is that a fact?
Shirley had no facts and figures. She only had tired diatribes about the wrongs men had done her. Men are sick of that kind of crap.
But the fact that I'm a woman is automatically that they don't agree with me. But they know I'm right. Here comes the dick.
I only had one objective in the game, and that is to convince Jason. I don't care what the women think, and they're not going to see reason anyway.
Well, here's the funny story, though. Over the course of his entire time at the house, all he does is talk about women, talk to the women, and be there for him, like a supportive shoulder to cry on. The big pussy hound, who at this first beginning episode says he does not give a flying fuck what women think, winds up spending the entire rest of the time at the house, caring what women think as they make fun of him and, for the most part, ignore his existence. So let's continue this as they sit and make fun of him. And by the way, he never convinces the other guy to be on his side. The entire time he was at the house, even the guy didn't agree with him and thought he was a retard.
All right, 70 to 80% of rapists and violent prisoners were raised by single mothers.
No. Where did you read these statistics? Are they just made up? Where did he get those statistics? I mean, that's such crap. I get angry at little boys who don't know what they're talking about.
Getting back to my point, what the numbers show is that women can't raise kids.
Oh my God.
My mother raised 4 kids on her own, and we are
doing
all
a really good
fine
job
and
of
like
raising
that.
my 2.
Women
And
carry
guess what?
the
And
kids,
guess
though,
what?
so therefore you
God
wouldn't be here if
protects
you weren't
me.
carried
So
by your
you
mother.
guys return to the
protects me
kids
and
again
looks
and again,
over
and I
me.
have no problem with saying that women's purpose is to make babies.
I feel so bad for this guy's mom. Like, she's probably somewhere going, I can't believe I had him.
It's actually a surprise to me that people don't agree with these views readily.
I think Dick is a chauvinist pig. The fact that he thinks that single mothers can't raise children on their own is ridiculous.
I think it was obvious who came out of that with their points still intact.
And we all just do exactly what we're told day after day after.
So nobody cares what this guy thinks. Let's skip ahead to more dick footage. Eventually, they start, deconstructing the women. This one, she's always mad. But they eventually pair them up, and Dick gets paired with this woman, which is just a hilarious combination.
He looks absolutely ridiculous.
Look, you have boundary control problems.
No, I'm just...
No, you need to off of me personally, because it's obnoxious.
Don't swear.
Shirley's proclivity to violence certainly worries me about rooming with her.
You're very jaded for a 26-year-old boy.
Jaded?
Yeah.
How do you figure jaded?
You're opinionated when you hadn't even lived long enough to make an opinion.
Dick hasn't a clue what real life is about.
You've attacked my age numerous times, but...
Because it's not that I'm attacking your age, okay? Your age is fine, but what I'm saying...
Interrupting doesn't make you right.
Well, you talk too slow.
That's because I'm thinking before I'm saying it.
Men who are much older than me say the same things. You can't attack them on age, can you? So why not leave my age out of it?
A man that's 55 years old that says something bad about women, you know what? He's experienced having gone through it. You haven't even haven't lived long enough to experience.
How many experiences do you need? Shirley has made a lot of mistakes in her life, and she's chosen to call those mistakes experience. You don't need to grab fire to know it's hot. You can take someone's word for it.
Yes, you do.
You need to grab the fire.
Yeah, when you were little, you learned what hot and cold was.
Yeah, you were told. I sure hope you didn't let your kids grab fire. No parent would let their kids touch fire to learn that it's hot. They tell them, it's hot, jackass, don't touch it.
Oh, you're so full of crap.
I'm full of stats, too.
Any statistic he gives me, in my eyes, it's just made up. Bring me a book, because I can say, well, according to chapter 10, such and such and such and such, it says that women are smarter than men. That doesn't make it so.
What you're saying is garbage, okay? The same garbage that comes out of your rear end is coming out of your mouth.
Coming up.
So he continues this persona for only the end of the first episode and most of this episode. But then it stops. Because when they start talking to this girl, he immediately begins simping for her.
What? No, you don't know the story. See?
My ex-boyfriend cheated on me and got another girl pregnant, and the baby came out retarded. I said, well, good. Well, it was what he deserved.
I believe that what goes around comes around.
And everyone's like, oh my God, Kim, in the name of Jesus.
That's really bad. For her to say something about a mentally challenged child, I would not wish that upon my worst enemy.
He's the one that did me wrong.
That pain is this tiny compared to the pain that mother has to suffer.
She had sex with my boyfriend.
You really don't get it, do you?
I really feel like I'm being exploited in the house, and I feel like everybody's going to point the finger at me.
I don't think of myself as a weak person.
All 6 of you have embraced the victim role with both hands, particularly you.
I can tell you a lie.
You deserve dignity and respect.
It's very shocking.
Who looks wholesome, maybe even...
So I decided to send them out on a social experiment to see...
So here's the social experiment. This is the woman that Dick claims he had sex with, and then we get to see how he actually acts when he's around a woman.
Who Dick and Shirley would select as a potential match for each other.
I'm looking forward to this because I get an excuse to check out girls all night.
I don't want to ask you what you look for in a woman because I want it to be my perception.
Close your eyes then, because we're driving through Hollywood and the billboards are going to clue you in. I'm going to pick a guy for Shirley who looks wholesome, maybe even someone high up in the church.
Are you?
No, have a seat.
Thank you.
It's just part of chauvinism.
Now, she's cute. Look at those legs. She's got some nice legs.
She had a lot of things.
She's a little out of your league, but I didn't mean that as an insult.
Right.
She probably wouldn't go out with you.
Really?
Well, I mean, if she wasn't into money, she would be cute for you.
Shirley agrees with a number of my views, whether she admits it or not. She said a woman was out of my league simply because I wasn't rich enough. That's what I say all the time. Women are just after money. I think I look cool. Well-dressed.
Wearing worn shoes. Man's got to wear nice, expensive loafers, Italian loafers, and he's good to go. Neither one. The aren't big enough for you. Am I right?
Can they be? When it comes down to it, Shirley nailed it on her assessment of what I would like to date. You know what? That guy's perfect for you. He's classy. He's got a full head of hair. That guy's a great guy. I think you'd be able to rely on him, where you haven't been able to rely on men in the past.
He's probably married. The older gentleman would have...
So far, all she's done is make fun of him, tell him that he has no real attractive qualities outside of having money, and that no woman would really ever want to sleep with him unless he paid money. And in Dick's head, he's done mental gymnastics that he's a poon hound and that every woman wants to fuck him. It is almost amazing that no one could have ever seen that Dick would be a simp. It's pretty obvious just from watching him and listening to him talk.
Been nice, but his voice pitch was really high. And then I saw him drinking hard liquor, which would have been a turn off to me.
If she writes off guys for either having funny voices, not wearing the right kind of shoes for her, or her last excuse was that all the good guys are married, then yeah, she's doomed to be alone.
I don't think that Dick really believes that he's superior to women.
He likes to pretend, but there's a lot deep down inside there that Dick's not showing.
As opposite as these two are, it's interesting to see how Shirley and Dick seem to know exactly what the other would be attracted to. Now, when it comes to Kim and Jason, I thought it would be eye-opening for both of them to spend some time in each other's worlds.
Now, with the rest of the people in the house, they're just boring. And nobody really cares what they say. You know, as you skip through it, this guy hates the world and, he's very angry. And then she's a very judgmental Christian. And then this other chick, her boyfriend's abusive. And he said that her kid fell down the stairs just to piss her off so she'd come home. Nobody really cares about any of these people. They're just really bad, mentally disabled people who need help, and for some reason Dick's paired up with them and put in the house. Let's skip on to episode 3 so we can watch him keep simping.
We have a very...
Let's go ahead and load this up.
We have a very intense hour of...
Let me just load this through VLC. There we go.
We have a very intense hour of television. Some graphic language was used. It's raw, it's real, and it starts right now.
Big issues.
I don't know, I'm being singled out. I don't know what it is. What is it? I don't know. I hope somebody can tell me.
So this woman, Dr. Phil, has this idea, hey, let's put all of them on a boat together and they can learn to basically drive a boat as a group. And that is a team building exercise in which the woman refuses because apparently she's terrified of the ocean and doesn't know how to swim. So Dick, being the natural simp that he is, decides that he's going to try and coax her on the boat and be there for her. And it's just weird as to why this pussy hound, who's a chauvinist, is so obsessed with being there for this woman he doesn't even know.
Skipper? Yeah. Morning, Skip. We're going to have some fun today. Yeah. Great day. Cool. Lots of good weather.
Well, we're supposed to have 6, but we've only got 3 out of the van so far. The longer they wait, the less wind we've got and the less time we have to get stuff done. The sun is rising and the boat is going, so we've got to get the team out and get on going. So whoever's coming, we're going now.
You're here for your family, to change your life, to change everything. This is a breaking point right here. Let's go. Let's go.
Just come on.
Let's go.
Come on. This is like so hard for me right now. I want you to come on.
She's coming. She's coming.
I'm not.
I had to drag Erin away from the car, but I was not going to go on that boat without her. If I had to throw her over my shoulders, I would have did it. I knew if Erin went on the boat, Kim was going to go, because she would have been sitting there all by herself, and I know for a fact that she wouldn't like this.
Oh my gosh, so fucking hard.
I put my fear aside and got on a boat, which is a really hard thing for me to do.
Can we get her a life jacket before she gets on there?
Coming up, Kim's behavior has tempers flaring.
That around.
This was a big adventure for all of us to be together and working as a group.
Somebody's in charge. And
I'm in charge. And don't you forget it. Hey, wait a minute, you touched my will. I'm in charge, okay.
I want to be in charge.
Okay. Everybody gets to be in charge. At the beginning, they're all going in 6 different directions and took a little bit of time to get going and get into the swing of things. You say ready about.
Ready about.
Crew says ready if they're ready.
Ready.
Now, a little enthusiasm.
Yeah,
Ready.
So even on this boat, Dick is simping to a woman. He let a woman immediately take charge. He let her take the wheel. And now he's simping to her on the boat.
Anybody else want to drive?
Crystal needs to do something.
I get to boost up the speed.
I don't like it. I'm just trying to be a good sport for Dr. Phil.
Guys ready to raise the sails? Yeah. Okay, we're going to have one person on this line, and it's going to bring that front sail out. We're going to have 2 people working on this line here. This is what's physically going to raise that sail up in the sky. 2 people pulling together.
Kimberly didn't do a damn thing on the boat. She wouldn't even get up.
What's the point of getting on the boat if everybody hates you, and then when they get on the boat, they're going to pretend to really like you, but they really don't?
Let go.
Keep on going. You got about 3 feet to go.
Give me some slack. You're killing me, man.
Once they saw that they could work together, it was actually easier. Then, at the end, they were really working together as a complete team. We have very little wind out here today, and you notice the boat's moving pretty good speed. And it's moving good speed because we're working it together. This is just exactly what we're trying to accomplish.
Oh, those are all sea lions?
They have a little convention out there.
No.
Check it out. Check it out.
Erin, want to drive? It's fun. Come up here. You just got to go straight.
My daughter's going to think I'm the greatest mom because she knows I'm scared to be on here. She's going to see me on here. Oh, no.
You're okay.
I was on the boat. It was heart pounding. I felt dizzy and I was scared the whole time.
Okay.
When she got up and drove the boat, I was just like, oh my gosh, I was so proud of her.
Put your hands right on there. There we go. Okay, good. And so when you're ready, you can tell them ready about.
Ready about.
Ready!
It felt so good to be out there, and hopefully my daughters will see Mommy on that boat. And she would say her mom is not a failure.
I still don't understand what going on a boat does to make you not a failure. I mean, Dick, come on, man. And you'll see him. He'll immediately simp to her. He'll say, "Oh wow, she's such a strong woman. You know, it took a lot to get on that boat."
Honestly, I was surprised that Erin got on that boat. She was ready to try new things. I was proud of her.
I was proud of her. She was ready to try new things, you know. I'm just here for her, you know.
I think personally, Erin did the best on the boat. We're here to change, and when I see somebody that's actually putting effort into doing this, it makes it a lot easier for us.
I just wanted to thank Crystal for egging me on.
I was so proud of you. I have so much respect that you did that today.
Don't make me bust a tear, okay?
I just think that it was good that we all got to...
Let's go ahead and skip through to more Dick content. Here we go.
We got a dude over here who believes in murder. We got another girl over here who will hit you if you look at her the wrong way. We got another girl over here who hate her own race. Let's talk about real issues.
I just want to move on from all this crap because there's not much time left, and if we keep concentrating on this, it's just wasting our time.
The best thing to do at this point, as the two men see it, is to let her be. You have a kid who's giving you the silent treatment. You don't indulge it. You ignore it.
Your duty in life is to tell people what you believe and how you feel and about the love of Christ. And after that, you've done your job. I don't think it's my fault that they go to hell or it's my fault that they hate me. That's not my fault.
Throughout Crystal's stay at the Dr.Phil house,
Let's skip ahead. There should be more Dick content coming up. This is where the lady's fighting with her boyfriend because he said her kid fell down the stairs. There we go.
Can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
And later, house.
I can't stand being in the house.
You spend a lot of time on the phone. It takes you from looking at yourself.
Nobody knows the pressure that I am under right now. Me not being in control of my household and my children, it's very hard for me to deal with.
What happened today, I can't even trust what's going on in my household.
Would you lie to me and tell me my son fell on the stairs?
What was the plan? Was the plan to get you home?
He got mad because he couldn't get a hold of me, so then he had...
Why does he care? This is a man that is a chauvinist who is such a pussy hound and women have no use and they're objects. Why does he care? He cares about the one getting on the boat. Now he's trying to hear this one out about the kid getting thrown down the stairs. It's almost like he doesn't actually think the way that he presents himself. It's almost like it's all an act, and how deep down he's this nice guy who actually cares about women, which is what he doesn't want people to see.
To come up with some emergency excuse on why he needed to talk to me.
Well, it's horrible. It seems like her boyfriend is psychotic. He's manipulating her children against her.
I can't even believe that you would even lie to me like that.
I felt betrayed and he broke my heart. I'm like, how could you do something like that?
I have kids, so I know that is I don't think it's really all that chauvinistic. I think that he really does care a lot more than he thinks he cares. Or he came across like, oh, screw women, they're whores. But I've seen him do different. I mean, he really tried to help Crystal. It's not really chauvinistic at all.
See, and I don't think so either, but I think that's why I'm here. I think there's a lot of misconceptions about chauvinist pigs like myself. I don't sit down with a woman and say, oh, I think you're a whore. No, this is silly. I think women should be cared for like plants. Reality is romance is cash equals sexual favors.
My wife doesn't act like that. She's like a real person.
I think he's definitely got a reason and an agenda for being here. I'm pretty sure it's, self-promotion, but I don't think he thinks anything like that. There's not 1 ounce of me that believes that.
Well, it seems to me that Jason isn't so quick to buy into Dick's staunch chauvinistic views.
It's weird because when he's on the kill stream, he says something entirely different. He presents himself as an entirely different person. But yet he's this nice, caring, gentle soul whenever he's around women. It's almost like he's completely full of shit. And judging by those texts, he acts the exact same way with women when he's by himself. Oh, I just want to make love to you. I just want to hear how I just want to see your face. I just want to hear your heart beat against my chest. You're just a simp, Dick. There's nothing special about you. You don't actually believe the shit you say.
But not all the house guests are making progress. Erin still seems just as prejudiced against her own race as she was the day she walked.
She was. I want you to special. Where you at? No stone your sweetie.
When you admit where your hurt is coming from, then that's when you can start from there.
Seems like she's had a real breakthrough. She seems determined to make some real changes in her life, which is great.
So with everybody that's on here really putting up barriers that you're trying to be someone that you're not. Or
He's a therapist now, guys. He wants to help her break down her barriers. He's the only one in the room, by the way. It's just him, sitting with this woman, talking, listening, hearing how she feels.
Or you're trying to hide someone that you really are. You just really need to come out with it, because you're just going to end up hurting yourself in the end.
Today is actually, I would call day one of starting my change.
Clearly, we're seeing some major breakthroughs, but there is so much work to do. So, I had my close associate Steve Davidson do an important exercise.
Eventually, he tries to pull this guy aside. I don't know if it's in this episode or the 4th episode, where he pulls him aside and they have a long conversation, and Dick tries to convince him to be more manly.
We have a very...
Let me pull that one up. Here it is.
We have a very intense hour of television. Some graphic...
TV. Consumerism.
Each other.
I'm going ahead. She's like...
Dr. Phil House, her...
To make it.
He's not going to have control. Not only are we on your side, but he's got Dr. Phil.
So, the one lady's already left. The old woman that Dick claimed that he had sex with, she left the next day because she just saw it was a waste of time. Now the one whose boyfriend said their kid fell down the stairs to try and get her to come back home is going to leave the house. And Dick is very concerned about her, and he doesn't want her to leave the house. He wants to be supportive of her. So him and the, I like to call him Fat Cog, are talking to her about not leaving the house because she's going to make a breakthrough real soon, and Dick actually cares.
I wanted to do this on my own for myself. I don't need him.
If you don't need him, then why are you going back to him?
I don't want to see him here.
She's going to break up with him, and within the matter of 45 minutes, she's leaving now to go back to her boyfriend.
This house is not even helping me. It's making me go crazy.
Crystal was on the threshold of a breakthrough. Crystal had the support of Dr. Phil himself. She had the reason to get help in the form of her children. And Crystal chose to abandon it at the last minute because of her emotions. That's too bad.
She was saying, she like contradicts herself. I can't do this by myself. Now she's going to do it all by herself. Did they not hear the part when you said you create like your own...
You create your own reality.
Yeah, and
you are responsible for your own
creation. Yeah, you did this to yourself. I think you're making a mistake.
Giving her a hug goodbye.
To yourself, though.
I just want to say goodbye to the people that are not.
Of course, Dick's there. He's been having a heart-to-heart with her. He really cares. He's going to give her a little goodbye hug and tell her that he's very upset that she's got to leave. I mean, this is not the story that he told everyone. He told the story that he was at the house and he was just smashing pussy the whole time. That he was just fucking women all through the house, smashing women all through the house, having sex every day. Where is the sex? It's just him simping to women, caring about how they feel, patting them on the back, giving them little hugs. Where's all the sex that he apparently had? I mean, all the women have done is make fun of him, and all he's done is sit there like a supportive friend. It's just so strange that he's not who he presents to be at all.
Come here, I gotta go. It was a pleasure meeting you guys. I think that Crystal made a mistake to leave, because after I calmed down and Kim calmed down, it was like everything was back to normal in the house.
Are you guys staying?
I mean, obviously we're here. We wasted so much time and nothing got solved.
No.
I mean, where is this person? I mean, he's either simping to women or letting them talk to him or hearing them out, trying to hear their feelings. That's all he's been doing the entire time he's been in this house. He hasn't done anything. In fact, his aggressive position that he had in the first 2 episodes seems to have dissipated the longer that he's surrounded by women.
And controlling Dr. Phil, she wanted help on her terms. She wasn't going to take help any other way. So really, she didn't want help.
I hate that she will miss a great opportunity to learn and grow and be here with you guys and continue the process. But, you know, you choose the behavior, you choose the consequences. Let me tell you what I believe. What happens in this house is a microcosm of life. And trust me, the way you behave here is a direct mirror to how you behave out there.
I definitely agree with that. Even though I may not deal with certain people here as well as I could, it's still going to help me with people, you know, out in society.
Hey, just my opinion.
Let's skip ahead. I want to get to the part where he's sitting in the thing trying to convince the guy he should be more of a man. Oh, here's where Dick goes cooking.
She was going to come in at all.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Hey, welcome to the LA Mission.
Thanks.
Out there we met David, who walked us through what we were going to be doing.
There you go. Yes, they are new.
The apron, the hat, and the gloves. I was like, I don't need that.
It's not going to hurt. She was a challenge. She didn't want to have nothing to do with this.
I don't want to be here.
It's just like you being a mother, helping your children. Some people need help. At the end of the day, after you see the people come in and you realize...
This is a woman who is black, who hates black people, and doesn't want her black children around other black children. It's kind of hilarious that she exists.
Which I got through without crying, which is pretty manly. I think you'll agree.
Now we're going to go get the other young lady, wherever she's trying to hide out at.
Find the nearest church.
Well, Kimberly, how about if I just let you cut a few onions? It's going to be all right. You're going to make it.
No, everybody been hating me on this show. Even my sister came on the show to talk bad about me.
Kim was once again being her normal bitchy self.
Go to hell. That's the Bible. Play it this way.
We don't believe it.
But wait.
Don't get loud with me.
When David was telling Jason and myself about his relationship with God, Kim chimed in attacking us, and he explained to her that this is exactly why people have problems with Bible thumpers.
You believe in God, right? We serve an awesome God to keep us in peace and harmony, right? Wait, listen. You gotta listen to learn. She was just radical when she came in. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a challenge. We do pray at this time. Would you like to join us in our circle?
You know, I don't want to insult the prayer by having a non-believer be a part of it.
That's fine. I have no problem.
If you don't mind me observing, then yeah.
Sure, come on.
First, I want to give...
I was putting the potatoes on, and I was handing them out to Aaron, who was presenting them to the diners.
Now, he's taking charge in the kitchen, and he's the potato man. He's cooking up potatoes with 2 women, just showing how manly he is, the way that he cooks potatoes.
It's something I have done ever before, being inside a homeless shelter and
actually understood me.
At the end, I was talking to one of the homeless people.
I hope for you. Thank you.
Everything I say about women has
Argumentative and less defensive. The thing that I learned from Dr. Phil is
Perfect.
Absolutely not.
So what could you do better?
I think the best thing we can do is focus on our goals, which I'm doing. My philosophy before I came into the Dr. Phil house is that men are better than women. Now I couldn't agree with myself more. Just because what I say sounds harsh doesn't mean necessarily that actions based on it are.
As I predicted, you really don't have a change that you intend to make. This is pretty much a marketing thing for you.
I can't say that it's not a marketing thing, but I did come into this with an open attitude, and everything I say about women has come true in this house. When Dr. Phil challenged my motives for being here, that left an impression with me, because it appeared to me like he didn't respect my reasons for being here. And a man like Dr. Phil, it's important to have their respect.
What you're selling is just lumping men into one category, saying men want it vulgar, men want it straight. That's just another generalization. That's just not true.
There is a huge amount of men who love it. That means saying some vulgar things in a vulgar way to provide humor.
The vulgarity doesn't bother me. It's the ugliness of the message.
I don't think my message is hateful because men need to hear things as directly and sometimes as brutally as possible.
He loves women. I told him he's just waiting for the right one.
The title is Men Are Better Than Women, not that women are crap.
Yeah, and that's just an idiotic statement. It would be idiotic to say it the other way. It would be idiotic to say women are better than men. And you're right. Some woman will get a hold of him and change him, and you'll see things a little differently.
Boy, it's almost like he called it. I mean, 10 years ago, he had that one girl on that was doing drugs all the time, and he said, I'm fearful that in the next 10 years, I'll see you on here with 3 kids. Sure enough, 8 years later, he had her back on the show, and she had 3 kids and took no responsibility for any of them. And he says right here, I guarantee you a woman will get a hold of him, and she will change his entire perspective. And sure enough, years later, what happens? These text messages get leaked, and he's a fucking simp. For as big of a Billy badass and a poon hound as he claimed he was when he claimed he was fucking all the women in the house, everyone was all over him. All the women wanted to fuck him. All they've done is make fun of him the entire time, tell him that he's gonna live alone his entire life, and say that they pity him. And all he's done is sit there like a concerned guy stuck in the friend zone, hoping he can get out by being friendly, and care about them and understand them and sit there and listen to their troubles. Why do that? If he's so smart and men are better than women as he claims, and he's too good to take them seriously or even care about their opinions, why is he sitting there trying to chide one of them to get on the boat to overcome her fear of being in the water? Why is he hearing about how this other girl was abused as a child and that's why she uses God as a cudgel to beat people away? Why do any of this? Why sit there and try to convince a woman whose boyfriend is telling her the kid fell down the stairs to try and get her to come back home to stay so that she can work through her issues because he thinks she's at the tipping point? Why do any of that? If you're so based and you're such a chauvinist, you shouldn't give a shit about any of these women. Yet you're sitting here for 3-4 days straight, taking these women on, taking them under your wing, talking to them. I mean, why do any of that if you're this based fucking chauvinist? If you're really a based chauvinist, you should have kids by now. You should be married and having kids. You're like in your late 30s, probably early 40s. You should be old enough to have a family by now. Shouldn't a man spread his seed and have children by now? I mean, come on, you're still doing streams with Ralph, who is trying to hit on all his younger mods since his wife left him.